Still hanging on to that old laptop? What if I told you it could boot faster than your phone and run like it's brand new? Today, we're testing 4 insanely lightweight Linux distributions, all running from one USB. No installs, no bloat, just pure speed. This is the flyweight category, and we're about to prove that old doesn't mean obsolete. Coming from a guy who just turned 40, I hope that's true. Before we dive into the flyweight operating systems today, if you're not familiar with the Ultimate USB version 2.1, definitely check that out. Link in the description. The product should be tagged here. This USB has everything. Over 50 bootable environments spanning across 13 categories. You've got antivirus and rescue, desktop OS, flyweights, forensics, games where you have a couple of arcades run emulators and ROMs, hypervisors, miscellaneous tools, multi-tools, WinPE repair environments, network tools, pen testing and offensive security for all of you hacker nuts out there, privacy and security featuring Tails amongst others if you're down to go browse the dark web. Obviously do that at your own risk, but stay anonymous with an operating system like Tails included along with others on this USB. Server OS, a few different operating systems there, and then I include some really nice Windows installation media. All right, check it out. Follow the series. I'm going category by category. I've also got a couple videos kind of highlighting the whole thing at a high level. Back to the show. Okay, first up is antiX. Let's boot this little flyweight up and see what it's all about. All right, as you can see, that doesn't take long at all to boot, and here we are in a fully functional operating system running live. Now let's highlight the specs and what's being used here. Right now, we are only utilizing 292 megs of memory. We have 32 gigs on this little machine that we're running, but look at that. That's highly impressive. The full operating system is loaded here, guys, and we're only running 292 megs. Yes, that's while it's idle, but still, try doing that on Windows or any other bloated operating system out there. This thing can run on legacy hardware compatible with many different products. And today we are running the ICE WM version. There are several versions that you can run with this. The most popular and default being the ICE WM. This looks and feels most like classic Windows. There are other options available like JWM. This is a super stripped down version for systems with even less RAM. I mean, if you can't run it at 292 meg, you must have some legacy hardware, but just know that JWM is out there. Also, Fluxbox is an option. This is a sleek and keyboard friendly, great for power users. And the last one that's available for antiX would be Herb Stuffed WM. I haven't used this one, but this is a tiling Windows manager for the ultimate efficiency. So it's not just a lightweight, operating system for old hardware. There are options out there for it. So again, this is the ICE WM, familiar layout, obviously resembles Windows. We have a start button down here. We have the taskbar. We have pinned applications, multiple environments. So you could have desktop 1 and 2. We have our system tray, very, very much again resembling Windows. Your clock down here. I do like this. Reminds me of more feature-rich BG info if you've ever used that from sysinternals on Windows. But again, just look at this, 292 megs at idle. That's pretty impressive. So this is antiX. It comes with applications already installed. These are some antiX tools that are built in. Again, we're not going to go through each one of these one by one, but if you guys would like to see a full video on any of these flyweights, if I get enough comments and enough likes on the video, I'll definitely make one. Accessories, games, graphics, internet, multimedia, office, so on and so forth. So it's not like it's just a shell of an operating system with a browser or anything like that. This is a full-blown OS, and if you have old hardware, this is a great option. All right, let's boot into the next one. All right, next up is Bodhi Linux, the minimalistic distro with surprising style and speed. Bodhi uses the custom Moksha desktop, a fork of enlightenment, designed to stay feather light while still looking sleek. This is Moksha, modern, minimal, and insanely efficient. It typically uses just 200 to 300 megabytes of RAM. This operating system offers a very familiar layout, uses the Thunar file manager, this would be the equivalent of File Explorer in Windows, uses the terminology terminal, it's where you can execute all of your commands. Then it has a Chromium-based web browser. If you fall in love with Bodhi, right here on the desktop is the installation shortcut. And there's also a small set of applications that are included. You've got some accessories, preference settings, graphics, internet, sound and video, and system tools. Some of those include gparted, bulk rename, and other things that you see here. Again, a very familiar looking operating system, pretty easy for new people or people who are new to Linux. If you haven't checked out Bodhi, definitely check it out. Let's boot into the next one. All right, now this one is a straight up rocket. We're talking about Bookworm Pup 64, which is a flavor of Puppy Linux built for speed and efficiency. And that did not take long at all to boot up. It came up in a matter of seconds, and here we are. I'm just going to close out of this quick setup because we're just, again, doing a demonstration. If you would like to install it, you can run through not only the setup, but then you can actually install PUP as well. All right, first thing that comes up here after the quick setup is a system information and utilization graphic here displayed in the background. This is pretty impressive. We're using not much of anything when you look at this, right? We're using 1% to 2% of the CPU. We are consuming a little more memory than some of the other lightweight OSs. Currently at 1.7 gigs out of our 32 gigs available, but this operating system is very fast and it's still lightweight when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. All right, so if you've never seen Puppy Linux, definitely check it out. It's another one that's, I would say, somewhat similar to Windows. You've got your start menu down here. Kind of reminds me of XP or even 2000. You've got your system tray. You've got your clock down here. You do have a taskbar. Looks like by default, it's going to show all of your different mounted disks or volumes here. So that's nice. It displays that automatically. You can obviously customize any of these operating systems. But if we go down this XP looking start menu here, we have desktop with different display settings. We have system, which gives you system information and some built-in utilities here, including a task manager. We've got setup, which would allow you to customize and set up the operating system should you continue to use it long term. You probably want to check that out. A bunch of built-in utilities, file system for managing your files. This would be, again, the equivalent of, File Explorer in Windows. Graphics settings, so you can customize what it looks like, how it's laid out, and the graphics configuration. Documents, business. Haven't seen a business category on an operating system for a while. Personal. We've got a password manager baked in, which is always nice. If you guys aren't using a password manager, what's wrong with you? Definitely use one. Network configurations, several options here, including a firewall setup. We have internet, which has a few different browsers, including Firefox. Multimedia, probably some things to, CD burner. I don't know who's burning CDs anymore, but if you need that, it's right there for you. Probably different things for you to burn ISOs and things like that as well. And then you have fun stuff. Solitaire. Who doesn't love a good game of solitaire, right? So some cool stuff built in here. A very lightweight and fast operating system. Always liked Puppy Linux. I'd never actually ran it as a daily driver, but I have spun it up for different people that had ancient machines. I'm talking P2s, some P4s out there, and they were going to throw them away and buy a new, whole new desktop. And I said, hey, you can either use this as a spare machine in your garage or in a bedroom, or if you don't need all the stuff that Windows has, you just need internet and basic functionality of a PC, try this Puppy Linux. And, a few of them actually stuck with it. So definitely a cheap alternative to buying new hardware is running one of these lightweight operating systems. All right, let's boot into the next one. All right, rounding out the flyweights, we've got Peppermint OS, clean, cloud focused, and built to fly on modest machines. All right, this is Peppermint OS. It uses a lightweight LXQT desktop with a familiar layout that feels just like home, even on older hardware. Very familiar again. Start menu, taskbar, system tray, clock. And this one even has a search function, which is very familiar for Windows users. Similar layout to the rest of them, you can pin things to favorite. It does cache recently used applications. You can browse through all applications and leverage that search functionality, or go category by category, again, using search if needed. Accessories, graphics, internet, multimedia, settings, and system. So a very familiar layout, I would say probably the closest to like a Windows 8 or Windows 10 type of feel. Not exactly the same look, obviously, but very easy to use if you're not familiar with Linux. So if you haven't checked out Peppermint OS, this might be the first one that you want to try. Peppermint also offers a built-in update utility. If you click on this, it's going to check for the newest APT repositories, that being the Advanced Package Toolkit. I'm not going to let this run out. I'm not going to keep this operating system. Again, this is a live instance, but just showing you one of the nice features offered on the distribution. XFCE terminal, you can go ahead and open the terminal emulator with one click pinned to the taskbar by default. If you need to manage and browse your files, there is a built-in file manager also pinned by default. Very familiar looking if you use Linux at all. You've probably seen this similar setup. We can see right now we are consuming just over a gig of memory. So not too terrible, not the lightest operating system on the list, but it is a beautiful one. If you're looking for a lightweight or flyweight operating system that doesn't look like one, again, Peppermint OS is a great choice. So make sure you check it out. All right, that's going to do it for the flyweights today, guys. Again, we're going category by category through the Ultimate USB version 2.1, covering everything that's on it and basically what it's capable of and what your use cases will probably be should you pick one up or follow along and build your own. If you guys are interested in a dedicated video, like a full length covering any of these flyweight operating systems in detail, definitely leave a comment and let me know. If we get enough love on that front, I'll think about doing dedicated videos for any of these bootable environments, including what we covered today with the flyweight operating systems. All right, guys. Next, make sure you're subscribed and stay tuned because next we are going to cover forensics. That should be a good one. I'll show you guys how to do some real cybersecurity stuff, booting straight from the USB drive. If you haven't checked it out yet, guys, head over to bootableusbs.com, pick up a copy today, and shoot me any questions you might have about the USB or any of the content we've made so far covering the USB. All right. I appreciate the support, guys. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't done it yet. And like I said, stay subscribed or get subscribed if you're not, because we've got a lot of good content coming soon. All right. Until the next video, take care.